Actually, she was at the, talking about some asthma and getting ready for camps and school, that kind of thing, and what you should be ready for, what parents should be doing. Man, asthma can be crazy down here. And you know, it can be exacerbated when you talk about the heat and everything in the air. And it seems like everything in the air right now is just going after us. Not a bad start today when we talk about actual temperatures. It's not in the lower 80s anyway, Jeff, but what, 75 we got as low as today? It'll heat up again.
Yeah, it's going to heat up quickly, Matt, as we move through the morning hours. And you can grab the summer-related items as you get ready to head out the door here this morning. Grab the water to stay hydrated, sunglasses to provide that shade to the eyes from the abundant sunshine we're going to be seeing today, and cover the skin and that sunscreen to help out with that as well. Short sleeves definitely going to do the trick for us for today. No need for the rain gear, though. That should be able to kind of bypass for today and really not probably needing it for the rest of the week. We'll talk more about that in just a second. 75 right now at Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Coolest temperature we've seen so far this morning, and 70 for Hammond, Macomb at 68. They have been in the 60s at times, but they're the cool spots right now if you want to call 68 and 70 degrees cool. Big reason it hasn't been that bad in terms of the temperature is because the humidity hasn't been overly oppressive. It's been there, it's just been tolerable, and that is expected to remain the case for today and really Wednesday as it falls in this acceptable category. But it's going to be a slow but steady increase. Notice the line inching up and up as we go towards the end of the week. So by Friday, back into the uncomfortable category, staying there through the weekend, and then inching towards the very uncomfortable category as we get into the beginning of next week. In meantime, we still have highs in the upper 90s, so feels like temperatures will be close to the actual air temperature as we move through the next couple of days, but that starts to inch higher and higher as we get closer to the weekend as we increase humidity. So because of that, we think by the weekend, probably dealing with heat advisories back in our forecast. Your heat tracker for today, forecast 98 your daytime high, 101 would be the record set back in 1924, so almost a 100-year record on this date. 92 is the normal high for this time of year, so we're well above average, but falling just short of the record high. But don't let that heat surprise you for today. 98 is going to be a very popular number in the coming days. 98 for today, tomorrow, and again for Thursday's high. But you notice that feels like temperature inching higher and higher in terms of the peak as we move through the week. So no heat advisory for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, but still take those frequent breaks, look before you lock, and stay hydrated if you're going to be outside for any extended period of time. So boy, we could use some rain to help cool us down. It's just not going to be a great chance. And even at that, when we do see rain, it's going to be brief and light in nature. So over the next 7 days, we're looking at a daily rain chance of 0 to 20%. I think Thursday will highlight as maybe our best opportunity of seeing some rainfall in the coming days. It does look like models are hinting we could get at least a few passing showers during the afternoon, becoming more widespread across our viewing area. But for most of these rain chances, really looking south of Baton Rouge along the coast as our best opportunity of seeing rain. That's illustrated here with our 7-day outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. You can see higher estimations of rainfall down towards those areas of 1/4 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch, while inland areas 1/10 of an inch to around 100 of an inch of rainfall. So few and far between in terms of that threat for rainfall over the next 7 days, and really doesn't get much better when we add in our last 3 here with our exclusive 10-day forecast. So 98 for today, tomorrow, and again on Thursday, 99 for Friday and Saturday. And then look at that, 100-degree temperatures back in our forecast for the beginning of next week. And we would be either tying or setting record highs for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday afternoons. So we could be talking about record heat finally returning. Again, we think heat advisories start to return to our forecast for Saturday and Sunday. So if you have outdoor plans over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated. Take those breaks inside, air conditioning if at all possible, and also check in on the elderly and the young kids. They are most susceptible to heat-related illnesses.
Jeff, we have a issue on I-12 that we've been dealing with all morning. Now, I-12 coming out of Denham Springs is always busy about this time of morning, inbound from Denham toward Baton Rouge, but this is going toward Denham out of Baton Rouge. Right shoulder, we have remnants of an early morning fire. In fact, we can kind of see that right here. That's going toward Denham Springs. Right lane and the right shoulder are temporarily affected. It is slowing down the westbound traffic, even though the westbound traffic is usually a little slow anyway from about this time of morning, we're definitely seeing congestion in both directions right as you approach O'Neill. That's where the truck fire was on the eastbound side, right past the auctioneer facility, which is right there. And before you get to the Amite River Bridge, that's where we're looking at that. And your backups in both directions start right before Juban on the I-10-12 westbound side, and before right past Sherwood, before Millerville on the eastbound side as you make your way toward Denham Springs. Part of our issue right now is we're having to do some cleanup operation by offloading some of the content and offloading some of the debris from the truck. But we have the heavy-duty wreckers on the scene. It's that's I-12 going toward Denham Springs. Matt, happened about 5 or 10 minutes until 4 this morning, so they've been dealing with that all morning long. Let's go back to Studio B. He'll fill in some blanks for us at 7:09. Matt?
Yeah, it was absolutely the headline maker early this morning, Johnny. I mean, as soon as we saw all that on the traffic cameras and started getting those alerts, we're like, look, man, this is going to be a giant headache for a lot of folks who travel this way, and even for those coming the other way. You knew that traffic was going to slow down. It's one of the top stories of the website right now, and we talk about all those people traveling through that area. We actually got some viewer videos sent in to us. Have a look. You can see just how intense some of these flames were. They knocked these flames down, to Johnny's point, for a while. Looked like they might have had it, but these hot spots can get kind of crazy. It flared back up again. This whole thing just goes up in flames, and you saw what was out there. Johnny was showing you. They had kind of another vehicle out there taking some of the debris out so that they can then empty this whole thing out and get it towed away. But yeah, this was the headline this morning as far as traffic concerns go. To Johnny's point, still some residual delays out there, but hopefully it all gets cleared up quick. But yeah, an 18-wheeler fire. That'll lock things up for a while in Baton Rouge. How about this? A store fire under investigation as arson right now. Actually, our Dion Guillory was talking about this from this very room a little bit earlier this morning. You know where this is? Have you been here? The Shoppers Value, the warehouse. This is Airline Highway near Greenwell Street, right around 2 o'clock this morning. A Baton Rouge firefighter investigating this. Fire started at that commercial building the early hours this morning. As they got out there to kind of look at it a bit more, investigators said, yes, indeed, this looks to be arson. So you know what to do. If you know the number, if you know anything about it, look, this is a pretty big facility here, pretty big spot. Crime Stoppers at 344 stop. See if you can't get them going in the right direction. Still more need for your eyes on this. Did you see this? A park vandalized in, let me show you a close-up of this as well, in Ascension Parish. You know where this is? This specific park, this is Butch Gore Park, Harry Savoy Road. So all this happened about 2 o'clock in the morning this past Thursday, so July 20th. Deputies looking for what they're saying, at least 4 people accused of vandalizing in this Ascension Parish Park. And you can kind of see some of the vandalism right here, some of what was done, and you can see in some of the video as well. See this? Look, 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 look. This is some of those who they think are involved. And if you can't get a good look at them here, you can do this. Check out the story. It's waiting for you, WAFB.com and your 9 News app. We have these pictures waiting for you. Make the phone call. Again, this happened last Thursday. That's a good amount of damage done to a public park. They sure would like to figure out who's behind this. You can make that phone call. Well, we'll see. This appears not to be over. You remember the story that we've talked a little bit about, an LSU grad student sending a threatening, perhaps vulgar voicemail to a state lawmaker. Well, LSU then said, all right, well, with all this going on, that grad student who also taught there at the school, no longer allowed to teach but can still continue their studies. Well, some pushback now from one particular kind of free speech group saying, LSU, you are in the wrong. They have actually sent a letter to to LSU, President William Tate, looking for a response, looking for a correction, they say, of their error. So where does this go from here? How far does this end up going? This looks to be just the very beginning of a conversation that centers around free speech and how it is defined. All that's still to come. Want to let you know about this as well. Still some conversation going on here. Superintendent of Schools here in Louisiana, Dr. Kay Brumley, speaking at a meeting yesterday with the Moms of Liberty. Now, Southern Poverty Law Center has labeled that group, local and national groups, as a hate group. And so some were a bit concerned that the state superintendent was speaking at their meeting yesterday. He was there for about 30 minutes, answered 10, 11, 12 questions, that kind of a thing. But this conversation going forward certainly is going to be a bit heated, especially with the Moms of Liberty, their stance on particular issues, LGBTQ related, that kind of a thing. You can read the full story. It's right there waiting for you. Want to let you know about this. This is why we were showing you Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital earlier. Asthma camp. camp. They actually got one going on. It's full up, but they do have some resources and some things to focus on for parents as your kids get back to school. Don't want them away from home and not have that inhaler on them. Some things you should focus on and maybe pay attention to. Go ahead and check out that story. You get a free cancer screening today. This is courtesy of Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. It's the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. And we had the folks on the 9 o'clock show yesterday. This one is designed for the members of the LGBTQ community. They wanted to make sure they had a safe place to go and do this, free from anybody else or any kind of prying eyes or any kind of whatever. It is open to anybody who meets the screening criteria, not just LGBTQ. They just need you to make an appointment. It's right there waiting for you on that story. And check this out, Restaurant Week. You know this, Callie was talking about it yesterday. It is a great opportunity to get out there and see what is to eat. We have the full story waiting for you online. You can also go to eatbr.com to find all the restaurants involved. Guys, you got some favorite restaurants to get out there and be a part of? Some of this money goes right back into the community.
I went to Doe's last night because this is the only night this week I'll have to enjoy that over on Government Street. Does not disappoint.
Yes, yeah, I'd much rather spend my money on Restaurant Week than Mega Millions tickets.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I haven't bought one in a long time. I'm buying a ticket today. I'm going to buy a ticket today.
You buy a ticket?
I'm going to buy a ticket today. Maybe two.
Well, there you go. I always say I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy, and I never do. I don't know. Maybe I need to. I got some errands I need to run. So yeah, maybe a ticket. I'll buy you one, Jeff.
Oh.
And I won't buy you one, but I'll give you money to buy mine for me, Matt.
There you go. I know where you work. You put your wallet away. I tell you what, folks, we'll see you again in 10 minutes on the Mothership.
You could be driving.
Smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just 2 reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 best trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.